The Young and the Restless has dropped a new preview video for the week of January 13, 2025. It shows Adam coercing Chelsea to move into the ranch. Meanwhile, Sharon makes a desperate attempt to escape her captivity. Will she be successful? Also, watch out for Jordan laying a trap for Claire. Will she walk right into it? Dive right in to find out. Sharon attempts to escape. Adam tries to convince Chelsea. Sharon Newman is truly living a nightmare, trapped in the sewage area, thanks to Jordan. However, she has managed to get her nerves and wits together and is perhaps planning an escape. The Young and the Restless preview video shows Sharon trying to reach an iron pole that's lying near her. Unfortunately, it's just a touch out of her reach. Will she be able to grab it? If she does, what is she planning to use it for? The preview video also shows Adam and Chelsea sitting across the table from each other and sharing a beverage. Adam tells Chelsea that she should move into the Newman Ranch for Connor's sake. He adds that if living there together could help heal Connor, then it's worth a try, right? The look on Chelsea's face is a clear indicator that she will give in to Adam's pushes soon. Jordan lays a trap for Claire. Next, we see Jordan back at Crimson Lights. She once again orders her special coffee order that caught Claire's attention in earlier episodes. This time, when Jordan collects her order, Claire is standing right behind her. As soon as Jordan says thank you to her server, Claire recognizes her voice. "Jordan," she says in shock. But her aunt walks right out of the establishment without even turning behind. Did Jordan do this on purpose? Is she expecting Claire to follow her? If that's the case, then this is definitely a trap, and Claire may walk right into it. Stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for more The Young and the Restless spoilers to find out what happens next. Meanwhile, do you think Claire's life is at risk? Tell us in the comments. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The confrontation at Ian Ward's motel in Genoa City was filled with tension as Nick Newman stormed in, determined to find Sharon and the answers he needed. Ian sat casually in his chair, his calm demeanor a shield as he faced Nick's fury. Nick's anger surged, his instincts screaming that Ian was hiding something. As the two exchanged heated words, Nick noticed a subtle movement behind the bathroom door. Inside, Jordan lurked in the shadows, listening to the conversation. Desperate for refuge after Sharon's escape, she was trapped, listening to the escalating confrontation between Nick and Ian. Nick demanded answers from Ian, his frustration mounting. Ian denied any involvement with Sharon, but Nick's suspicions only grew. As Nick pressed for more, he heard a familiar, muffled voice over Ian's phone. His attention shifted, realizing someone else was involved in the plot, potentially holding the key to Sharon's location. Just as Ian attempted to maintain control, Nick's sharp instincts led him to open the bathroom door, revealing Jordan. Shocked and furious, Nick confronted her, accusing her of kidnapping Sharon. Jordan remained unfazed, taunting Nick and revealing her unexpected role in the situation. The tension escalated when Jordan, undeterred by Nick's fury, attacked him. Though Nick overpowered her, she managed to land a blow before he pinned her against the wall, demanding to know where Sharon was. As she laughed bitterly, Nick's heart sank at her cryptic words about Sharon's fate. Before he could press further, Ian grabbed a lamp and swung it at Nick, but Nick dodged and delivered a punch, incapacitating Ian. As police sirens wailed in the distance, Nick finally took a step back, allowing the authorities to take over, but his mind remained consumed with finding Sharon. With Ian and Jordan in custody, Nick allowed himself a brief moment of relief. Yet, his thoughts were clouded by Jordan's ominous words and the mystery of the voice on the phone. Ian, ever the manipulator, had played his cards well, but Nick knew the battle wasn't over. As Nick left the motel, the bigger questions lingered. Was Sharon still in danger? And who else was behind the scenes? With Ian and Jordan caught, Nick's quest to uncover the full truth was just beginning. The sirens and the sense of impending danger signaled that the next chapter in this high-stakes game of deception and survival was far from over. The tension in Genoa City reaches a fever pitch as Sharon Newman finds herself trapped in a horrifying underground chamber, shackled and desperate to escape. The latest developments on The Young and the Restless have fans glued to their screens, as the chilling revelations surrounding Cameron Kirsten's sinister plans come to light. Sharon's current predicament is nothing short of terrifying. Bound by chains in the suffocating darkness, her cries for help echo unanswered. Though she has access to food, the psychological toll of isolation and fear has left her unable to eat, sinking her deeper into despair. The once resilient Sharon finds herself questioning her strength as her ordeal continues. Cameron Kirsten, the mastermind behind her imprisonment, makes an unsettling appearance. Cold and calculating, he taunts Sharon, planting seeds of doubt about her reality. Are those cries for help even real, Sharon? Or are you just losing it down here? His mocking words linger, a twisted attempt to break her spirit. But Sharon refuses to crumble entirely. Confronting Cameron, she demands answers about the other prisoner whose cries for help cut through the oppressive silence. However, Cameron remains unmoved, coldly brushing off her pleas. "That's not my responsibility," he states, leaving Sharon grappling with a moral quandary. Can she save herself while knowing someone else suffers nearby? The tension escalates as Sharon battles her fear and guilt, torn between self-preservation and her instinct to protect others. The cries of the other captive serve as a haunting reminder of the stakes involved, pushing Sharon to the edge of her sanity. With Cameron's motives shrouded in mystery and Sharon's resilience being tested like never before, fans are left with burning questions. Who is the other prisoner? What drives Cameron's twisted game? And will Sharon find the strength to escape and expose the truth? As this storyline unfolds, The Young and the Restless delivers another gripping chapter of suspense, moral dilemmas, and high-stakes drama. Stay tuned as the race to uncover Cameron's dark secrets and rescue Sharon heats up in Genoa City. In The Young and the Restless, the surface calm of Genoa City is shattered as dark secrets and hidden threats emerge. Sharon Newman finds herself thrust into danger, pulling viewers into a tale of suspense, courage, and unexpected alliances. Sharon's perilous predicament. The drama begins with Sharon Newman mysteriously disappearing, only to wake up in a damp, desolate underground room. The suffocating air and stench of sewage heighten her desperation as she grapples with panic and an uncertain fate. Meanwhile, Nick Newman receives a chilling call. Sharon's car has been found submerged in a river, a grim discovery near the location of Heather's lifeless body. As Nick wrestles with his worst fears, he launches a frantic search, piecing together clues that point to a sinister plot. Phyllis's unexpected role. Phyllis Summers, Sharon's longtime rival, is thrust into the heart of this mystery. Initially dismissive of Sharon's disappearance, Phyllis soon finds herself in an equally dire situation. Waking up in the same grim location as Sharon, Phyllis is forced to confront the reality of their shared captivity. Despite their animosity, the two women must navigate a dangerous game of survival, discovering that their captor is none other than Jordan, who defied Ironward's orders in a bid to exact revenge on Nick Newman. A test of willpower and redemption. Tension runs high as Sharon and Phyllis, trapped in close quarters, confront their past grievances. Phyllis blames Sharon for past missteps, while Sharon fights to maintain her composure despite the lack of medication for her bipolar disorder. Over time, their animosity softens as Sharon's resilience and resourcefulness earn Phyllis's grudging respect. When Sharon risks her life to protect both of them from Jordan, Phyllis begins to see her former adversary in a new light. The escape plan. Determined to break free, Sharon and Phyllis pool their strengths. Phyllis devises a strategy to exploit Jordan's weaknesses, while Sharon's bravery becomes the driving force behind their efforts. In a moment of Jordan's carelessness, the two women make their move, but their plan takes an unexpected turn. Danger looms as Jordan regains control, leaving their fates hanging by a thread. A race against time. As Sharon and Phyllis struggle for survival, Nick and Billy uncover critical clues about their whereabouts. The story builds to a nail-biting climax as Nick's unwavering determination to save Sharon and Phyllis collides with the challenges of facing their powerful adversary. Will Nick and Billy arrive in time to rescue the women, or will Sharon and Phyllis be forced to confront Jordan alone? Themes of courage and change. This gripping storyline isn't just about survival, it's a testament to the power of change, forgiveness, and humanity in dire circumstances. Sharon and Phyllis's journey from enemies to reluctant allies highlights their strength and resilience, while Nick's relentless pursuit of justice underscores the depth of his love and courage. As secrets unravel and alliances shift, The Young and the Restless delivers an emotional roller coaster that leaves viewers on the edge of their seats. Genoa City's mysteries are far from over, and the fight for survival promises to reveal even more shocking twists. Stay tuned, this is one story you won't want to miss. In Lay, Damien wants to know what Nate is after. He already has a job, and is wondering why he came all the way out of there from Wisconsin to offer him another one. Winters must have people breaking down the door to get in. So why me? What's the angle? There's got to be more to this story. Nate says he's right, there is more. Nate assures him his desire to hire him is legit, but he came out to meet him for personal reasons. He was intrigued by his restlessness and used to be a doctor. Damien asks what happened to Dr. Hastings. Nate says it's a long story, but his family gave him a shot in the business, and he realized it's where he belonged. Damien asks how he fits in. Nate saw his resume and sensed a kindred spirit. He wanted to pay it forward. Nate asks why he changes jobs so often. Damien says he's picky. When he feels he's treading water, he moves on. Nate appreciates the honesty. Damien guesses this is where their similarities end. Nate replies, "You'd be surprised." He admits that Damien's story isn't adding up for him. Perhaps his restlessness isn't random, and he knows exactly what he's doing and why he's doing it. Nick joins Chance at Crimson Lights, and the cop tells him he can't join the police search for Sharon. His guys are trained. Nick says they'll get help whether they want it or not. He asks what the police already know. Chance says the diver's been underwater for hours and hasn't found a thing. There's no sign of Sharon anywhere, dead or alive. At the ranch, Victor has updated a stunned Michael on Ian Ward being out of prison and an ordained minister. That man plays for the devil. I'm afraid his game has already become deadly. Michael learns that Victor thinks Ian is responsible for drugging Sharon and for Heather Stevens' death. Michael debates. Victor insists Ian is a fraud and isn't reformed. They need to find out why he's there. He's deadly. In their motel room, Ian tells Jordan there's nothing in the news about Sharon's crash or death. Jordan is sure it will show up. Ian says there's been enough time for the police to find the car with Sharon in it. Did she take care of things exactly the way he told her to? Jordan says she has done everything he's asked of her. Ian questions, then where's the proof, Jordan? Jordan tells him she drove the car to the river to the exact spot where Heather's body was found. Sharon's body was inside, out cold. She made sure the tire tracks went to the river as well. She accuses him of not appreciating her work. Ian's concerned about the quiet. Jordan says maybe they haven't found the car of the body yet. You've got to relax. We're in the clear. Sharon's not going to bother us anymore. In the sewers, Sharon cries for help and struggles to break free from the shackle around her wrist. She cries again for help, growing increasingly despondent. Cameron appears and says, I was wondering when you'd finally feel the need to conjure me back up. Hey baby, did you miss me? Sharon tells him she doesn't miss him at all. Cameron snarks, and yet, here I am. You must really be desperate. Sharon can't argue with that, but doesn't want his help. Cameron says she must, or he wouldn't be there. Sharon worries she was drugged again. She feels strange. Cameron rants about the bad memories he has of this place, given it's where she stabbed him in the heart. I have PTSD. He thinks whoever drug her down there has a sick sense of humor. Sharon has no idea who it was. Someone came up from behind her at Society and chloroformed her. She was in a motel room, and then the next thing she knew, she was chained to the pipe. She worries that her water is running out. What if they don't come back, and I'm stuck down here forever? In late, Damien laughs that Nate's known him for 5 minutes and thinks he has him all figured out. Nate shrugs that it's just a theory based on the Count of Monte Cristo. He has all of his candidate vetted and found out he moves almost as much as he changes jobs to Dangler-owned apartments. He guesses both of the companies are owned by the same person. Damien congratulates him for being thorough. Nate needs someone he can trust. Obviously, this parent company trusts him. Damien plays along and asks what the next step would be, and what exactly his position would be at the family company. Nate tells Damien that Winters would benefit from having him on board. Damien says that's not a job position. Nate tells him he'd be in the finance department, and if he excels, the sky's the limit. Damien says it would be a good fit, but he's curious why he'd assume he'd want to leave his comfortable undercover role in LA to move to cold Wisconsin. Nate says, money. He wonders if Damien is interested and reminds him Winters is the big leagues. At the ranch, Victor tells Michael that Ian claims he sent a letter to the police for insurance in case something happens to him. Find out if he really did. Michael tells his boss to consider it done. Victor says they have to find out a way to get rid of him discreetly. Michael says that won't be easy given he's deliberately made his return high profile. Victor reiterates that they have to get rid of him. Michael asks what he means by that exactly. Victor says, "You know what I mean." He urges Michael to find a legal means of putting him back in jail. Michael complains it won't be easy. Victor reminds him he always comes through. Michael will see what he can do. Victor barks, "Get it done." At Crimson Lights, Chance and Nick feel bad for Sharon, who has been through so much. Nick is hoping she got out of the car before it submerged. Chance says it's not likely. Nick theorizes that she got out, hit her head, and doesn't know where she is. The longer she's missing, the worse it looks for her. In the sewer, Cameron warns Sharon to start rationing her food and water. He's sure she can survive this. He was impressed with her strength when she told him goodbye. He wasn't sure she'd ever need him again. Sharon rants that she didn't kill Heather, but she made the horrible choices afterward and now may never be able to make it up to her family. Cameron's unmoved, and Sharon says guilt is what makes them human. She fears not being able to get free and make things right. Cameron advises her to find a way to fix that. In the motel room, Ian keeps checking his phone as Jordan harps about him driving himself crazy. She tells him he's panicking, and he protests that he's concerned about the lack of news. Jordan wants to turn the focus to Claire. Ian can't focus on anything until he knows if the cops are going to come to the door, accusing him of murdering Heather. Jordan says Sharon has been taken care of, but her needs haven't been attended to at all. She's starting to think they never will be. Chance and Nick join Michael and Victor at the ranch. His people have found out nothing about Sharon. Becoming agitated, Nick rants that Sharon can't have just disappeared. He declares that Ian knows where she is. Michael tells a bewildered Chance that there's a theory that Ian Ward is behind this. Nick stalks out. Victor tells Chance his son will look for Sharon. I just hope it's not too late. After Chance leaves, Michael guesses that Nick went to see Ian. He warns they have to be careful, noting that Nick has been known to lose his temper. He's confirmed the police have a warning letter, so Nick can't go off on him. Victor feels his son won't cross that line. He crabs that Ian is a phony bastard walking around like a minister. He'll take that confidence away from him. Michael worries that Nick will deliver his message with his fists. At the motel, Nick hammers on the door and calls out to Ian, "I know you're in there." Jordan hides in the bathroom, and Ian grabs his Bible and opens the door. Nick demands to know what he's done with Sharon. In LA, Damien tells Nate he's given him a lot to think about, but the whole meeting seems a little strange. Surreal even. He's not sure what to think about it, or Nate, for that matter. He'll need some time to think. Nate tells him he can't stay in town long. Damien asks him to send him the offer, and he'll get back to him soon. Nate replies, "Fair enough." They shake hands, and Nate says he looks forward to continuing their discussion. Damien says, "We'll see." In the sewer, Cameron wonders to Sharon if the person who brought her down there was involved in Heather's murder. He muses that Heather may have been incidental to it, in the wrong place at the wrong time. He thinks whoever did it wanted Sharon to do down for murder and didn't care who died. Sharon can't understand why. Cameron says all they know for sure is that they knew she'd be arrested. They didn't count on her framing Daniel to save herself. Sharon says that's the worst thing she's ever done. Cameron says killing him was worse, but he's biased. Sharon realizes he's right. As soon as the police reopened the investigation, she became a liability. Cameron's sure the culprit dragged her down there where no one would ever find her. Amy and Audra rejoin Nate in the cafe in LA. He confirms he met Damien and tells Amy he looked great, polished and poised. Amy asks if he mentioned her. Nate says no, but it wasn't that kind of meeting. Amy is thrilled they found him again and tells Nate that Audra distracted her with shopping. She's a good woman. They ask Nate if Damien took the bait. Nate tells them he honestly doesn't know. He made a good pitch and he didn't blink an eye. Nothing seemed to ruffle them. Amy says that wasn't her experience with him. You could hear their arguments down the street. Nate doesn't think he's interested in his offer. He gets the sense he's not looking for a change. Amy asks if he'll contact Nate again. Nate says he agreed to. Audra thinks that Nate should tell him the truth the next time he sees him. It's time to get real. In the sewer, Sharon asks Cameron if this person or people wanted to get rid of her so badly. Why did they leave her down there with food and water? Cameron doesn't know and muses that they need to find out who they are. Sharon wails about finding a way out of there. Cameron tells her to spit on her skinny wrist and try to wiggle out of that thing. Sharon's tried that already. In the sewer, Sharon cries out for help. Cameron tells her she's wasting her breath and her strength. She needs to stay calm and think. Sharon cries that no one will look for her down there. She doesn't know what her family is thinking. Do they think she had another breakdown and took off? Sharon wouldn't blame them for thinking the worst. Except for Nick. Cameron sighs, "Nick, always your knight." Sharon wonders if he'll piece this together. Cameron says, "You'd better hope so." Sharon weeps. In the motel room, Nick accuses Ian of knowing exactly what happened to Sharon. All hell breaks loose and he shows up. It can't be a coincidence. Ian doesn't want to argue with him when he's upset. He offers to pray for Sharon. Nick tells him he'd better pray that nothing bad has happened to Sharon. If it has, he'll tear him apart. In a shocking turn of events, The Young and the Restless has left fans gasping for air as Phyllis Summers finds herself at the center of a life-or-death situation. What began as a typical day for the fiery redhead has now turned into an edge-of-your-seat thriller. Phyllis, the beloved and sometimes controversial character, has been kidnapped, and the question on everyone's mind is, what will she do to survive, and what will she risk to save Sharon? Let's dive into the dramatic twist that has everyone talking. The kidnapping, a deadly game of cat and mouse. The tension between Phyllis and her rivals in Genoa City has been building for months. After weeks of scheming and backstabbing, someone finally had enough. Phyllis was abducted in broad daylight, leaving fans reeling in disbelief. But who is behind this chilling plot? Could it be a vengeful enemy from her past or someone closer to home with a hidden agenda? The mystery deepens as Phyllis' captors make their chilling demands. As the situation unfolds, Sharon Newman, the compassionate and strong-willed mother, becomes an unexpected focal point in this dangerous game. Phyllis, known for her sharp wit and ruthless behavior, has always had her own way of handling trouble. But in this case, she faces an enemy more dangerous than anything she's ever encountered. Will she be able to escape and save Sharon, or will her enemies strike the final blow? Sharon's unexpected role, a friend in peril. Sharon's connection to this abduction is the twist no one saw coming. It's revealed that Sharon's life is now entwined with Phyllis' survival. As Phyllis tries to find a way to escape, she realizes that Sharon might hold the key to her freedom. But at what cost? Sharon, ever the peacekeeper, has always put others' needs before her own. But now, it seems she might have to put her own safety on the line for Phyllis. Will Sharon make the ultimate sacrifice, and can she trust Phyllis, whose betrayal has often been her modus operandi? The tension between these two women has never been more palpable, and as secrets unravel, the stakes get higher. Phyllis' desperate choice, risking everything. In the face of her captivity, Phyllis is confronted with a choice that will change her life and everyone around her forever. Will she act out of self-preservation, or will she risk everything to save Sharon? Phyllis has never been one to back down from a challenge, and her fierce determination could be the one thing that keeps her alive. But as the days drag on, she begins to question just how far she's willing to go to protect those she loves, or perhaps to protect her own secrets. As Phyllis fights for survival, the lines between right and wrong blur. Her dark past and her many enemies come into play as she faces the ultimate test of character. Will Phyllis save Sharon, or will this shocking twist change the trajectory of both women's lives forever? The countdown to the ultimate showdown. As fans eagerly wait for the next episode, one thing is certain: The Young and the Restless has never been more thrilling. With Phyllis caught in a deadly trap and Sharon's life on the line, the tension is at an all-time high. Who is behind the kidnapping? What will Phyllis do to survive? And will Sharon make it out alive? The drama has reached new heights, and The Young and the Restless is poised to deliver yet another unforgettable chapter in this explosive saga. Stay tuned, because the answers are coming, and they promise to be shocking. What do you think? Will Phyllis sacrifice her own safety to save Sharon? Could this be the end of their complicated relationship? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Will this be a redemptive moment for Phyllis, or will it mark her downfall? One thing's for sure, you won't want to miss what happens next on The Young and the Restless. Get ready for a roller coaster ride of emotions, and hold on tight, because the drama is just getting started. The Young and the Restless has once again left fans gasping for breath with its latest explosive twist. Just when it seemed Ian Ward was about to achieve his sinister goal, his carefully crafted plan crumbled, and now both Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman are left fighting for their lives. Ian's diabolical scheme. Ian Ward, the master manipulator, has been scheming in the shadows for weeks. His plan? To bring Genoa City to its knees while taking down his sworn enemies. Using deceit and charm, Ian managed to lure both Phyllis and Sharon into his web, setting the stage for his ultimate act of vengeance. But as the saying goes, even the best-laid plans can go awry. The shocking turn of events. In a nail-biting episode, Ian's plan took an unexpected turn when Phyllis and Sharon joined forces to outwit him. Despite their rocky history and bitter rivalries, the two women recognized the greater danger Ian posed. Together, they confronted him in a high-stakes showdown that left fans on the edge of their seats. The confrontation spiraled into chaos when Ian's trap backfired, resulting in a dramatic explosion that left Phyllis and Sharon trapped in a collapsing building. The final moments of the episode show them lying unconscious amidst the wreckage, leaving fans desperate to know if they'll survive. Will Phyllis and Sharon survive? As the dust settles, the question on everyone's mind is, will Phyllis and Sharon make it out alive? Spoilers suggest that their lives hang by a thread, and upcoming episodes will be packed with emotional hospital scenes and desperate rescue efforts. Nick Newman and Jack Abbott are expected to play pivotal roles as they race against time to save the women they love. Meanwhile, Ian remains at large, and his next move could be even more dangerous. Fan reactions. Social media erupts. The explosive episode has sent shockwaves through the young and the restless fan base. Social media platforms have been flooded with reactions, theories, and heartfelt messages for Phyllis and Sharon. "I can't believe what just happened. Ian is pure evil," tweeted one fan. Another wrote, "Phyllis and Sharon teaming up is iconic. I'm praying they survive this." Some fans are even speculating that this ordeal could bring about a surprising reconciliation between the two women, given their newfound bond in the face of danger. Ian's next move. While Phyllis and Sharon's fates remain uncertain, one thing is clear: Ian isn't finished yet. Spoilers hint at a chilling new plan that could put even more lives at risk. Will Genoa City finally unite to stop him, or will Ian continue to wreak havoc? What's next for Genoa City? With Ian's reign of terror far from over and the lives of two beloved characters hanging in the balance, The Young and the Restless promises more twists, turns, and heartbreak. Will love and loyalty triumph over evil? Or will Ian's dark shadow continue to loom over Genoa City? The recent California wildfire has devastated numerous homes, including the property of actor Eric Braden, known for his iconic role as Victor Newman in The Young and the Restless. While Braden and his family are unharmed, their home, filled with cherished memories, was tragically destroyed. Braden expressed his heartbreak, sharing that losing the home felt like losing a piece of his soul. Despite this emotional blow, his loved ones remained supportive, and fans have sent an overwhelming amount of condolences, offering words of comfort and encouragement as he navigates through this difficult time. In light of the tragedy, Eric Braden has announced a temporary leave of absence from The Young and the Restless to focus on his emotional recovery. His departure from the show, though deeply felt by fans and cast members, highlights the importance of prioritizing mental health. Braden's portrayal of Victor Newman has long been a central element of the show, and his absence will leave a void. However, both the cast and fans are offering their unwavering support, expressing hope that Braden will take the necessary time to heal before returning. Beyond Braden's personal loss, the wildfire crisis has had widespread effects on many families across California. The destruction caused by these fires has become an annual tragedy, with thousands losing their homes and livelihoods. Experts continue to call for better preventive measures to address these disasters. Meanwhile, Braden's fans have rallied around him, sharing messages of strength and resilience, reminding him that the love and memories of his home will endure even if the physical structure is gone. Support also pours in for other fire victims, with people from all over the world sending their well wishes. On screen, Braden's character, Victor Newman, is embroiled in a dramatic power struggle with two formidable adversaries, Ian Ward and Jordan. Despite the threats posed by these characters, Victor remains unshaken, displaying the same resilience that Braden is now relying on in his own life. Fans have drawn parallels between Braden's real-life strength and Victor's unyielding determination, offering admiration for both. As Victor faces these challenges, viewers are eager to see how he will overcome these obstacles. Much like Braden will undoubtedly find the strength to rebuild his life following the loss of his home. Damien's arrival in Genoa City marked a pivotal moment for both him and Nate. For Nate, it was an opportunity to leave behind the turmoil of his past and build a new life, while for Damien, it represented a chance for redemption and a fresh start. Their bond, forged through shared struggles, seemed promising, but Damien's past was far from forgotten. Despite his charming exterior, Damien had a history of dangerous associations and manipulative behavior, which his old acquaintance Audra was well aware of. She had seen Damien at his worst in Los Angeles and was deeply suspicious of his true intentions in Genoa City. Audra's warnings about Damien fell on deaf ears as Nate, ever the optimist, believed in second chances and wanted to support his brother. Despite her efforts to avoid him, Audra eventually confronted Nate, revealing the darker side of Damien's past. She shared her knowledge of his connections to dangerous people and the manipulative traits he had used to survive. Nate, torn between loyalty to his brother and his growing doubts, struggled to reconcile his belief in Damien's potential for change with the unsettling truths that Audra revealed. The tension between them grew as Nate began to question whether he was truly seeing the man he had welcomed into his life or if he had been deceived. As Damien continued to integrate himself into Genoa City's business world, the weight of his past lingered over him. Nate's trust in Damien began to erode as he uncovered evidence of Damien's past, including letters and photographs that linked him to dangerous and manipulative behavior. This discovery led to a confrontation between the two men, where Nate demanded the truth. Damien's refusal to take a DNA test to prove their familial bond only deepened Nate's suspicions. For Damien, the refusal was about maintaining control over his own narrative, but it also revealed his deep fear of the truth. He worried that the results might prove he wasn't Nate's brother, leaving him with no ties to the only family he had clung to. The relationship between Nate and Damien reached a breaking point as the rift between them widened. Damien's refusal to take the DNA test and his cryptic departure left Nate grappling with a mix of betrayal and confusion. Though Nate still wanted to believe in Damien, he couldn't ignore the evidence that pointed to manipulation and deceit. Audra's motives also remained unclear, leaving Nate uncertain about whom to trust. In the end, Damien's exit left a deep scar on Nate, and the truth about their relationship remained elusive. The journey toward understanding, acceptance, and perhaps forgiveness was just beginning for Nate, as he faced the painful reality that not all relationships can be rebuilt, no matter how much he wanted to believe in redemption.